Hey guys, Fishy Boopkins here!
I can smell you.
Hey all, Null here. So we've had the SMG4 redesigns of the classic characters for a little while now, and I definitely do think that SMG4, 3 and Bob's models all work very well, and I definitely really like their designs. Especially Bob's, as I feel the changes make his model fit his character better, such as making him look more like a gangster rapper with his bandana, as well as his robe looking more ragged, fitting with the fact that he lives in a garbage dump. Or possibly in his hotel, that's never very clear. Controversial, I know, but I like the Boopkins redesign, but definitely not to the extent as the other characters, and I thought in this video I'd explain why, as I'd like to see the model improved a bit, but I don't want it to be reverted back to its original spike form. So my issue isn't too much with the design, but more so with the model. While overall it is well modeled, the Boopkins model has almost no textures to it except for the feet, which makes it look a bit unfinished, and it is definitely a graphical downgrade from the original model, although I don't expect the redesign to be at that level of graphical quality. This lack of textures is most noticeable with his hair, and I especially dislike the point where his hair and body meet. So I think they need to give his skin and hair textures, especially as I like his new hairstyle a lot, and other original SMG4 models like the old man have textures on their skin, so it's clearly possible to do for Boopkins, who is a more important character. I also think the SMG4 and 3 models could use some clothes textures on their clothes, similar to the textures the weegeepie Mario models have. I also don't really like how sometimes his wrists will twist when you move them, making them look broken, though this is not too big of an issue. This is also something that can happen with SMG4 and 3's models. So moving on to his design, I do like his new ball shape quite a lot, as well as his new hairstyle. I think his new body type fits well with the goofiness of his character. I also like the slight color change they gave him, giving him a lighter green shade. It's clear that overall they were trying to remain as faithful as possible to the original Spike design overall, which is why his redesign does appear a little bland on the details side of things, especially when compared to Bob, Karen, Wheeler, Depresso, or any other new model, who mostly all have interesting details to them. This is mainly because they changed or removed features, like his shell, without adding anything new and interesting to replace the removed features. I think one way they could remedy this is by giving him a feature or two to make him look more similar to Jub, as after all they're brothers, but this may not be obvious at first despite sharing some features like their mouths and tail fin. They could possibly reincorporate the shell onto Boopkins' design but replace it with a coconut shell like Jub's shell, or they could give him a similar skin pattern where the top half of his body is slightly different and the bottom half. Maybe they could even give him more fish-like features, as after all he is an aquatic creature with fishy in his name. Like with the changes to Bob, this could make his model better fit with his characteristics. What do you guys think could possibly be improved? And I'm expecting something actually constructive, by the way, as my previous video on the redesigns had many garbage comments. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Boopkins model gets a slight revision in the next couple of months, as the SMG4 team do seem to be aware that it is the most divisive redesign and have been cool about it, joking about it in the most recent Nintendo memes video, which was funny. But as I said earlier, I think the other designs are pretty perfect the way they are, though maybe could use with some more textures and maybe some tweaking with the models to stop the weird twisting thing with the arms if possible. Oh, and one final idea I have is that it would be cool to see new SM64 models for Bob and Boopkins, as while recently these models had been used less in videos before the redesigns, it would kinda just be cool to see.